Welcome back, associates, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Balance receives a precious gem, Pintor becomes a translator, Rhal helps with the prisoner, Squash goes on the hunt, and Zaltanna helps Benno to plant a seed. After apprehending a would-be assassin, the group discover a plot to kill one of their own, ordered by the highest authority in the land. As Kythea, Fakit, and Bogrim head north to find alliances and knowledge, our team finally make their way to the Gentleman's Dueling Club. Is their prisoner to be trusted? Will Kythea's trip to Kino yield an alliance? And what secrets does the Gentleman's Dueling Club hold? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die.
Jill has thrown open the doors to the end of this kind of like entrance hallway area that you guys have landed in. They gesture for all of you to come through, bowing fairly deeply to Demi and to Pintor, of which they would recognize. Pintor, you probably wouldn't recognize Jill unless you think, there's no way you would recognize Jill at all, actually, thinking about it. And they lead you into a very big kind of reception area. Like, if you were going to walk into this building, you would walk in through a different way that you guys teleported in. Takes you into a big entrance hall. As you walk in on the left-hand side, you can see a set of very big, ornate double doors which lead to the outside. There's a big wooden bar that's currently just like sat in the kind of metal brackets, just barring it and keeping it closed. And you can see there's an assortment of bells around the edge, which are clearly activated from the outside. There is a very large staircase on your right-hand side as you walk into this big entrance hall. The stairs are lined with red carpet with little bits of gold trim going up. The wood is quite dark, mahogany coloured. They go up and then they kind of like hit the end wall where you see a very big portrait of some very fine wine with a cheese board. Like, it's that really tacky kind of picture, but it's there. And you see the stairways like go up and part in two different directions and they lead off to the rest of the house. You can see directly ahead of you, there is another set of double doors, which are very ornate. And one of them is slightly ajar, and you can see that the floor of that room is very highly polished wood. And you can see over to the right, there are other doorways, and to the left, there are again other doorways. Sort of a little bit away from the staircase itself, almost part way between that and the door, there is kind of essentially like a little desk. There is currently a tall elven woman standing there. When she sees Jill approach, they turn and walk away, leaving them to do the things they need to do. You can see there's a set of keys behind this desk. You can see that it's covered in like little quills and parchments and stuff, and some of them have been partly written on. Jill makes their way over. They indicate for the rest of you to line up, and they begin their kind of process. Who do we want to start with? Who wants to be first to the desk? Who wants to sign themselves in? Or are you going to let Demi go first?
Demi can go first.
Rhal needs to watch an example.
I concur.
And Balance needs to follow Rhal since he's the plus one.
I don't even remember who I said I was going to be for this thing. So, like, I don't remember if Zaltanna is somebody's plus one or if she's, like, pretending to be somebody. So I'm just going to let Demi do all my work.
You are Demi's, like, official guest, so you'd be her plus one. You two were jokingly talking about when the letter first arrived in Vanlas that you two would have to go buy, like, pretty dresses for a ball.
Oh, okay.
This was when it was decided you were going to be a plus one here. Way back in that day. Demi just like rolls up to the desk and she puts her hand on like near Squash's head so that she indicates for him to go forward and like puts an arm on Zaltanna's like elbow and like pulls everyone forward to stand in front. And Gilles is standing there over a piece of parchment and they hold their bearing very tall, very high. And they look at Demi, then they look at Squash, and they look at Zaltanna, and they say, "Good greetings, Clan Chief Bloodon, Mistress of the Archmages. We have been awaiting your return most eagerly. Are you checking back in today?" Demi nods. "What a pleasure. I hope your business in Falson concluded in your favor. Is the young comrade here to be your guest or your +1? And he looks down at Squash.
Squash just has a nervous smile.
Okay, we'll take that as a +1 then, guest. And you see them writing something in, like, you can see them raise one eyebrow a little bit, looking at Demi, looking down to Squash and looking at Zaltanna. They turn to look to Zaltanna and says, "Please, mistress, can I take your name?"
Yeah, Zaltanna.
Zaltanna, excellent. I assume you are the guest. Excellent, wonderful, wonderful. I have all of your names. I will have someone. No, I will take you up to your room myself. Mistress Bloodhound, there has been a few changes made to your room. We just need a few moments. Please step to one side. And yourself. And they point at Pintor.
I'll approach. And Pintor is kind of standing a little bit differently than he has been in recent years. He's kind of standing a lot taller, a lot more regal and official looking, and he says, "Hello, my name is Pintor Dathrodir, Prince of Belegbud."
Good greetings, Prince Pintor. Yes, I see that your room has not been used in some time. The Dathrodir room, yes. Is the young lady here your guest or your +1?
Yes, she will be my guest.
Okay, a guest. I will write that, and you see them writing that down again, like very ornate handwriting going into this. Okay, are you here on any particular matter of business, or are you here for the official dueling in 2 days?
No official business, just kind of taking things in.
Not a problem, not a problem. All right, and you two, are you? I do not recognize either one of you. And looking over at Rhal and Balance.
Rhal steps forward with his letter. He's holding he's acting like Ama would act. But basically pulling the kind of like stern, observant type. Mm-hmm. Just being quiet and calm, and hands his little letter over.
Jill reaches over, takes it. They look at it, see that it's been sealed. They use their clearly left sharp like thumbnail to break open the seal. They open it and read like, you are the representation of the lodge. Excellent. Okay, can I please take your names?
Rhal.
Do I refer to you as master, mistress? I'm afraid I have never met your kind before.
You could just call me Rajak. That is fine.
Okay, no salutations. And your guest, or your +1?
Rhal nods to Christopher.
Balance takes a step up next to Rhal's side, assuming that he was probably standing like a step back and away, and just gives a slight head bow. Yes, pleasure to meet you. My name is Christopher Cantemir. Balance is trying to look the part.
I'm gonna need a deception check.
Sure. I'm going to say I have my leadership focus on, because
yes, that's fine. Into. Yeah. That's absolutely fine, yes.
So that is a plus, I guess +2 then, right? Because it's half my intelligence. So it's a 12.
Okay.
I take it that's bad.
Super bad for you.
Of course it is.
They look at you and it's like, I'm sorry, how would one go about writing that down if that is your name?
It's quite all right. My name is Christopher with a K and an F instead of a PH.
Okay. Would you mind just waiting here one moment? I need to get the room prepared. We did not expect anybody from the lodge to be turning up today. If you two could just wait here for me a moment.
Sure. Rhal crosses his arms impatiently.
You see them
keeps
like
his stern face.
Because that's what Ama used to do.
No,
Ama's
it's not what
crossing
Ama
arms
used
at
to
him.
do. He's doing the observant thing because that's what Ama would do.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's fine.
But the stern thing, not so much.
Yeah, they reach under the desk and they ring a little bell. A moment later, the young elven woman that was here before walks over. They exchange something very quietly. You see their lips kind of moving, but they're not saying anything out loud. And she stands next to Rhal and inverted commas Christopher. And she'll offers to take everyone else up to their rooms.
Okay, I'm gonna be this asshole. I can read lips.
Okay.
If it's not important, then it's not important.
You would get the gist that Christopher inverted commas has been rumbled. And that they need to keep these two here because she'll need to deal with the guests that he can get away from the incoming potential embarrassment that the lodge may, that the dueling club may suffer. So yeah.
Squash pulls on Christopher's cloak, and the Squash is so short he'll have to bow down to talk to him.
That's fun.
And Squash just gives Balance a little heads up, like, yeah, they know something's up.
Just telepathic understood.
And then Squash follows Demi.
Okay. They take Pintor. No, they'll take them to Demi's room first. They take you up the grand staircase and turn you off to the left, and they take you along a series of corridors. There are many, many rooms here. A lot of them have like the little plaques on there. Some of them are very old, like the ones dedicated to the Lodge or to the Witcher Society or to the Elven Monarchy or the Dwarf Monarchy. But there are some newer plaques up here too, like ones dedicated to various religions, others dedicated to like alchemy and blacksmithing. And a new one that's very shiny as you pass it is one that's dedicated to the leader of the Dawn. And she takes you guys, first of all, just off of the Witches Society. The Witches Society room is fairly large. There's one like very big window that lets a lot of natural light in. There are 3 rooms in this kind of like suites. There is like the inverted commas living room, which has like a couch and has a couple of chairs. There's a crackling fire, clearly literally just laid off to one side. There is a bedroom off to the right, which would be like the master suite, which have like a 4-poster bed or something like that in there, or in this case 2. And off the left, a slightly smaller, slightly less grand room. And Jill walks in and he says, "Please come in. We have prepared this room with your new requirements in mind. The guest bedroom is all prepared with towels and a hot bath, and the master bedroom now has a pair of singles that can be pushed together to create a double if the need arises. There are fresh flowers. We have a spa, a full massage therapy, and a training center available to you and your companions throughout the length of your stay. For the clan chief, please accept this complimentary bottle of orcish blood wine, courtesy of the staff at the castle. Dinner will be an hour after dusk, where the rest of the guests will be gathering for a light conversation and a drink. 2 days from today, my apologies, I mean tomorrow, has been a very long night. The dueling will commence. My name is Jill, for those who do not know me. If you require anything at all, please don't hesitate to ask me personally or one of the castle staff if I am unavailable. And I hope that your stay with us will be a productive one. Good greetings for now to Squash and to Miss Zaltanna. I require a moment with yourself, Clan Chief. Demi nods and she leaves the room with him off to one side. They have a very quiet, very quick conversation. For anyone who is looking at Demi or spying in on the conversation, is anyone doing that?
I'm left alone with Zaltanna, and who's her +1 again?
You.
So you'll be left alone with Zaltanna in the room. I'm assuming that Renara and Pinto are outside unless they wanted to go in with.
Oh, is Zaltanna soloing her room?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've just provided 2 beds in the master bedroom and 1 bed in the guest room. You can do whatever you want with it.
I'm the guest, so I get the guest room. You and Demi have to sort out that whole will you push your beds together. I'm rooting for you guys. I'm really pulling for you guys. But
no, we shared bedrooms last time. We needed to.
That was completely out of character.
Was it though? I mean, was it really?
I didn't use the accent, so it was out of character.
His response was in character, which is what concerns me.
I don't know. Okay. Then
yeah, it's just us.
Squash. That just is like kind of spying in on the conversation.
I will allow this because I'm curious.
Okay. In that case, can you guys roll perception check? Pinto, you can do as well because you're like in the area if you wish to be like spying in on what's going on here.
Oh yeah. Wait. Let's see how slow this is.
Wait, don't worry.
14.
It's a 23.
As he pulls her off to one side, he says very quickly, I am sorry to burden you with this, madam, but there is a short issue, a very small issue that we have, that we noted once you had left. Unfortunately, the vaults below had been broken into very shortly before you left, or shortly afterwards. My companion, my night butler, Dahe, cannot really tell exactly when. They just received the note that it had been broken into. We have upped the level of security around here. We have added in new defenses, so don't worry, all the important artifacts down there are being protected on a completely different level. We should up security anyway. Just to let you know, we are a little concerned about your companion Squash because we have not been able to see much of him while he was here last, so we'll be keeping an additional eye on him. No offense to your ladyship and whatever. Yes, you understand, of course. And she says, well, Squash is like very, very ill. Like he was very ill and he had to like hide up here for a very long time. I don't know if you noticed, but he's a little bit like tripping on certain things. And we're trying to get him over that. And like, yeah, he's doing a whole thing now. And like, he's much, much better. That's why you didn't see him last time. Gilles looks at her, gives her a bit of an eyebrow raise and just nods and says, yeah, sorry to have interrupted your day. If there is absolutely anything else, please feel free to ask. Good greetings. And with that, he walks over to Pinto. Please, this way.
I follow.
Okay. He takes you to a room a little further away and up a very small flight of stairs. When he opens this room is freaking huge. Like, this is not like the really nice place that Demi just had. This place is freaking huge. Looking around, you can see that there are many, many doors here. You would expect, like, the Dathridirs probably had either many guests or many family members who would come here all at once. Everything is beautiful and ornate. Everything is very elvish in style and in colours. All the architect in here even seems to mimic Elven. There is a set of very large double doors which are glass to allow the extra light in, and they go out onto a very big balcony which overlooks the islands and the little village at the bottom of it and like the sea. It's a very beautiful view. They walk you in and they say, please come in. We hope that this is to your liking. We have prepared this room with your family in mind. It has a private balcony which affords a magnificent view over the island. The guest room is all prepared with towels and a hot bath can be drawn if your highness requires. The master bedroom has a pair of singles that can be pushed together to create a double if the need ever were to arise. There are fresh flowers in the vases and fruit in the bowl. They will be refreshed every day of your stay. We have a full spa, massage therapy, a training center available to you and your companion throughout the length of your stay. For the Prince of Dusk, please accept this complimentary bottle of fine elvish wine, courtesy of the staff of the castle. My name is Gilles, of course. If you require anything at all, please don't hesitate to ask me personally or one of the castle staff if I am unavailable. And I hope that your stay with us will be a productive one. Good greetings for now.
Pintor nods and says, "Thank you for your assistance."
Not a problem. He bows very deeply and makes his way out of your room. Nala looks around. Kind of her jaw dropped a little bit. She's never really seen Bellic boots. This is very reminiscent of that style, and it's super high class. So yeah, she's just like walk around, jaw a little drop right now.
Yeah, Pintor just kind of looks around. He's just like reminded immensely of home, and he's just like, all right, let's drop our things off. And I walk to, I guess, where our bedroom is going to be, and then drop our things off.
Okay, we'll let that scene off to one side for a minute. Rhal and Christopher.
Hi.
Hi. You've been standing down here with this young elven woman for a little while. Are you guys looking around? Are you attempting to wander off? I don't know, seduce the lady? I mean,
what's a little while?
Probably about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
At some point, Rhal will turn around to Balance, and he reaches into his pocket and hands you 3 small pieces of wood. And you look at them, and one of them looks like Zaltanna, and it resembles the bishop chess piece. One of them looks like Rhal, where his muzzle is kind of angled to look kind of like the knight chess piece. And then you have Balance, which is the king chess piece, and you see that they all have false bottoms and resemble kind of the ones that Ama had. But the false bottoms are blank. They're for blank stamps. He's basically made you chess piece stamps.
That's so adorable.
Okay. Balance looks at those and looks like he's about to say something, stops, nods, and puts them away in his bag and telepathically says, "Thank you. We'll talk later."
Rhal just smiles, laughs a little bit, and turns back around.
Telepathically again to you. Balance is going to try to like make it look like he's kind of just idly taking in the room. Like kind of like that like gaze of wonder sort of thing. But telepathically to Rhal, he's going to say, "We've been waiting here for a little while, and it seems to me like they're probably trying to feel us out. Being that you're in a position of power, you may want to start getting demanding. Usually they don't want to offend people such as yourself representing someone."
Rhal, without responding, walks up to the lady and tries to basically acknowledge that he wants to talk to somebody, and
be assertive.
Goes to pass her.
Aggressive.
Well, he's passing her, so...
No,
excuse
in her
me,
face.
sir. I'm sorry, sir. You just need to wait here a little moment. Master Shell says that your rooms are not ready yet. Please, if you would wait over here.
Be demanding. Cut her off in her sentences.
Stop distracting me.
Rhal has a nervous breakdown. He's trying to figure out what's going on.
He kind of like
I'm coaching
stops. You. He stops and slowly turns to her and just looks down at her. "We have been waiting here for quite a while.
I'm sure that Master Shell will not be much longer.
Is there
Please,
something
if you would just
wrong?
wait.
Do you have a concern?"
I think you may be a little concerned about like not having the room appropriate for the guests of your stature. Please take a seat.
Can I insight that?
Yes, you can.
Okay. 24.
She's lying.
Yeah.
She just wants you to
rolls
not
his
leave
eyes
this room.
and says, "Okay, look, I get it. I told him not to try so hard." And he's doing this so that Christopher can kind of hear a little bit, but
that's
he
fine.
is kind of pretend hushing, but he also needs Balance to hear. I told him not to try to come here and act like a seasoned fighter or whatever, but here we are. It's the first time doing something like this, okay? Just give him a break.
She kind of looks over at Christopher, who appears to be this slightly older human male.
I will make a remark here, hearing or supposedly not hearing Rhal say this.
Mm-hmm.
So as a mention, so Balance currently has his longbow and quiver, 2 short swords, and a few daggers strapped onto him. I'm gonna say that Balance hearing where Rhal is leading with this is probably going to try to make it look like he's like puffing his chest up, like he's resting his hands on the hilts of the blades. Like
you're just an old guy, so
right.
Rhal's making you look like you're trying to be a seasoned adventurer, right?
Yes.
You're not trying to be a tough guy. You're trying to look like a seasoned adventurer.
Okay,
seasoned adventurer who's really just midlife crisis old man.
Yes.
In that case, Rhal, you can take a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
Great fucking play.
No, I love it.
This is so dumb.
I love it. This is amazing.
22.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
She looks at him, and you see like that kind of like, oh, he's an old man who's trying. Look up, like, oh, Grandpa just got a phone. How adorable. She gives him that look, and she kind of like gives a little whistle off to one side, looking in the direction behind where the grand staircase is, and you see this human man run out. He's clearly wearing like a serving outfit. It's the same kind of like bluish leathery kind of tunic that everyone else is wearing here with the embroidered GDC on it. He rushes over, and like she leans over, whispers something quietly in ear, and he rushes off, and he comes back again with like a chair with a cushion on it, and he puts it down like next to where Balance is standing. By the time this whole ridiculous farce is over, Sheila is coming down the steps very quickly. He notices the chair.
The chair was placed next to me?
Yes.
Balance is going to try to make himself act like how indignifying that is and look like he's trying to resist, but eventually just kind of sits down and crosses his legs like, and lets out like a air quotes, involuntary sigh.
Old man move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's laying on this.
Okay, yeah, she'll comes down. He sees the end of this farce as it's happening, and he with a wave of his hand, like the 2 servants almost disappear. They just very quickly do something else and go about their business. He comes to stand over and near you guys, and he gestures for you guys to follow him through one of the smaller doors off to one side. Like, please, I think this conversation may go much better if we are somewhere else, out of the main view of everyone else.
Balance gets up slowly. Kind of puts his hands on his knees and...
Am I going to?
That's us.
He's indicating to the pair of you.
Yeah. If I'm supposed to go, then I will go.
Yeah, he lets you guys into a little room. There's a couple of chairs and a table. It's nothing like you're about to be told off by the head teacher setting kind of room. It's more a table with a bunch of chairs around it.
Like a conference room.
Yeah, like a very, very small conference room for like 6 or 7 people. Okay. He sits down in one of the chairs and indicates for you guys to sit down also. He puts his morning star just leaning up against his chair. And he says, I don't know if either of you are particularly practiced layers, but Christopher is not your name, is it, sir?
No, sir.
I need to know why it is that you felt like you had to lie.
Balance kind of gives a look over to Rhal, like a bashful look, and then looks at this guy, looks down, and is just... I thought it was a better fitting name for a strong adventurer such as myself.
The problem that we have here is that the GDC has a reputation to uphold. We cannot simply let, funny enough, a group of people who are all about talking and political movers, we don't particularly like liars here. We need to make sure everybody being let in is of the appropriate power level, shall we say. You may notice only those with true power, not money, true power, are here. and have people who walk in weighing. Does not end well for that.
Understood. And then Balance like turns to Rhal and kind of lowers his head. Is like, I'm sorry to have embarrassed you, sir.
Hold on.
Balance is making a power play. They're saying they respect power, and in this situation, Rhal is the one that he's following in power. Telepathically, he's going to say to Rhal, lay it on. You're the one that's in charge here.
Oh, no. Look, the lodge doesn't really have a whole lot of people to spare for things like this. Lot of fighting going on right now with all that's happening.
And so that the letter from Master Bloodhorn says, yes.
Right. He's not exactly the fighting type he thought he had to fit in.
So, what name am I actually going to be putting down on the register? Actually, I want you one of you to make a persuasion roll.
You want me to do it?
I don't. Yes, actually you, because you're the one that's trying to give Rhal all the power, and you're going on a level of con here that he may be swayed by.
Can I make a performance check at some point?
Yes, I'll tell you what, do the performance check. Yeah, we'll do that instead because you want to do that.
Okay, no persuasion.
No persuasion. It's just Rhal doing a performance.
That's 23.
Oh my god. Fuck you, roll 20, Curse. I'll make Neil do it for me.
Friendship and goofs. That's the only thing Roll20 reacts to.
And my +7 to performance.
It's ridiculous. He steeples his fingers together and he looks over at both and says, what name am I going to be putting on the register? And what name are you actually called? I can hide certain things. I just need to know the truth.
Balance is going to say to Rhal telepathically, tell him my name is Pete, and I will act indignified and ask that he call me Christopher.
His name is Pete. He thought it sounded nerdy.
If you could, please, though, just call me Christopher, if you could put that down. Sounds a lot better of a name than...
All right, I want one of you to roll deception with advantage because you two are playing into this, so it's ridiculous.
You want me to do it or you to do it, Neil?
I don't mind which one of you do.
A +3.
I have a +8.
It's a deception?
Yes.
How'd you roll 10 earlier?
What the fuck?
Jesus, man.
Right.
Well, it is with advantage, so you might as well take it.
Yeah. I'll do it. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
25.
Man.
Okay.
Aww.
Oh wait, no, that's not even with the +2, so it's actually 27. Oh, that was a 19. That was a 19 on the dice. Fuck yeah. V, I swear to fucking God, if you just rolled a 20.
He looks at you both, and he looks over at Christopher. Maybe not Pete.
Peterfer.
He looks over at Rhal. Peterfer. He says, apparently everybody knows a Pete, right?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yes. I will put this name down, but please do not... I can be as helpful to my friends as I am difficult to the enemies of the castle here.
I think we all know that this is not time for us to try to be difficult. We're not here to try to be difficult.
I understand. I will just put your names into the register, and I shall take you to your rooms. It is all prepared by this point. Just in case. We have to be ready for everybody. He gets up, and he basically leaves. And he writes your name into the register, and he takes a couple of steps up onto the staircase, indicating for you guys to follow. I'm hoping you follow, because it's silly if you don't.
Uh-huh.
He takes you up to the room. This room is about as nicely decorated as the Witcher Society is. They're both fairly old institutions here. The lodge is beautifully furnished. There are more weapons and shields and ornate looking kind of military things up. There is a big glass window, but no balcony. There are 2 small bedrooms, one slightly bigger than the other. And as you guys walk in, he says, please come in. We have prepared this room with your needs in mind. The guest bedroom is all prepared with towels and a hot bath. The master bedroom has a luxuriously large bed, but another can be brought in if the need arises. You just have to ask. There are fresh flowers in the vases and fruit in the bowl. They will be refreshed every day of your stay. We have a full spa, massage therapy, and a training center available to you and your companions throughout the length of your stay. For the representative of the lodge, please accept this complimentary bottle of exquisite Affling water courtesy of the staff of the castle. Dinner will be an hour after dusk, where the rest of the guests will be gathering for a light conversation and a drink. 2 days, my apologies, long day. I mean, tomorrow the dueling will commence. My name is Rhal. If you require anything, please don't hesitate to ask me personally or one of the castle staff if I'm unavailable. And I hope that your stay with us will be a productive one. Good greetings for now.
V.
Yes.
I'm going to make a power play. Rhal knows halfling. I'm going to read the bottle and say, nice selection. I'm going to read something out loud off the bottle.
Oh, God. You know what? I approve. I appreciate this.
Okay. All right. You made me do this. I'm now going to consult the list. Okay, it says ethanol vodka from the heart of the Glendon Mountains using fresh spring water, the sweetest potatoes, and bottled under a full moon. There you go.
Yeah. Rhal reads the name of it and comments on the full moon thing.
Isn't that a whiskey then?
Potatoes.
Yeah, if it's made with potatoes, that's...
Vodka.
Oh, that is vodka. Okay.
Potatoes?
Yeah. It's sweet potato, so I don't know if that would work.
Yeah.
Sweet potato vodka, it'd be fine.
Sweet potato
We'll make it
vodka
work,
sounds...
right?
Yeah.
So that's what's written on the label.
Rhal reads some of it, puts it down. He's just pulling a power move of like, oh, I am competent in this way. Maybe I belong here. He puts the bottle down and starts going back about his business and gives a nod, a kind of afterthought nod. As the person leaves.
As the person is leaving, also Balance is going to turn to Rhal and say, "Sir, could we stay here a little bit longer? Perhaps this is better than back home. There's a spa.
People don't fight here."
At this point, the lot of you are left to your own devices, so I'm gonna leave the floor open to you guys and what you want to do. There won't be. I'm just gonna leave it open. What happens? What happened?
Spa.
Spa. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but Zaltanna is taking a spa day.
When you guys are left alone a little bit, as soon as
needs it.
Jill walks away, Demi turns to Zaltanna and says, "Okay, I know this is a really, really weird thing to come up with, but you need to understand this is all about talking, not about the fighting, and you're probably going to need to take your armor off
What?
while you're here."
No.
Well, think about it. You're about to go have an important conversation with people, and wearing armor and carrying swords and weapons kind of denotes that you don't really trust the other person. This is supposed to be about building a trust and working in a sanctuary-esque kind of environment, and wearing armor and carrying really obvious weapons, well, apart from the servants, but they're very different. Probably sends out a very not right message.
And
I don't trust other people.
I'm representing the fighters and I'm not wearing armor.
You're technically still waiting downstairs, so hush.
Also, you're a monk, so you're always wearing armor. Shut your fucking face.
I am a weapon. Yeah.
I left my
So you're
armor
probably
at
gonna-
home.
You just see a nightmare creature that's just
I see a Bucky finger up.
I just do want to say that sweet potato vodka is in fact a thing.
Oh.
Yes.
Does exist.
Thank you.
Nice.
And I really want some
Okay.
because it looks really good.
I'm grossed yet intrigued.
Demi's looking at you wearing your very loud armor and carrying your very obviously big weapons.
She does have the boots. She's a lot quieter.
She does have the boots, yeah. Much, much quieter than she was, at least.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in trusting people I don't know.
You can kind of hear Squash, who was about to leave the room, when Demi starts talking to you and you start like denying the armor thing. Squash kind of turns around and goes like, if you're going to be interacting with people, you don't want to be wearing armor. The people here are really, really hoity-toity. They don't like the sight of weapons and in pleasant conversation. I don't think it's the best idea to wear the armor if you're going to be interacting with people, of course.
Demi, do I have to interact with people?
Well, I'm going to leave this entirely up to you. I mean, I know that you're more like the punchy, wearing armory kind of person, like the doing person rather than the talky. We know people who can talk a lot, so we could definitely get that covered. I was going to leave this entirely up to you, but if you're going to be interacting with people in like a very like, I want to figure out what's going on where, kind of like inside, or like make them tell you the truth because you're a paladin, I think you can do those weird god magic. I don't really know. That's going to be entirely up to you, but I would say that if you're going to speak to people, you'd have a much better reaction if you weren't wearing your armor and your swords. Sorry.
You're also Demi's +1, so you will be casting shade on her. I know Demi doesn't want to talk about but that's true.
Fine, but I'm going to hide one of my small hatchet things in my boot because I am absolutely not going 100% weaponless around all these fucking hoity-toity bitches that probably killed Balance's parents.
Quick question. Wouldn't it be kind of normal for people to walk around with their one main weapon? It's a dueling club. I wouldn't be surprised if people challenge each other to do bullshit duels over the tiniest bullshit.
Like, it's like small weapons, like it's just become like those things that people will pretty much always carry daggers regardless. I think someone as kind of like looking much like Zaltanna does, who clearly looks like a fighter that will kick your ass even if she's wearing nothing, I think she could probably get away with, instead of a boot knife, a boot hatchet. Like, I think she'll be okay with that.
It's just blatantly tied to the outside of the shoe. It's not even tucked away.
Yeah.
It's just like, hanging on a chain from your neck.
It's a splint. It's a splint.
Yeah, like she'd be able to get away with that for sure, yeah. But like walking around with Kalimon, the truly great sword, may make people raise a few eyebrows.
Did you bring Cal with you?
Oh yeah, I'm not leaving Cal alone. I don't know when he's gonna come back, so
he can't defend himself.
Yeah,
it's just
literally a sword
with no wielder.
Yeah, Cal is on vacation, sipping Mai Tais on a beach, and I'm taking care of his shell while he does that.
He's more like in a coma.
He's in a food coma, basically.
You're walking around with his body right now. Just be careful with that.
He's sipping God Soul Mai Tais on some ethereal beach.
God, I want that.
This God Soul tastes like strawberries.
Tastes like aniseed. Yeah, tastes like aniseed. Yeah, so Demi has that conversation. Whether you want to go around wearing your full armor is entirely up to you, but you have at least been warned if you do that.
I won't wear my full armor. I will put my hatchets on. I need to buy some like lesser armor at some point when we have money again, so that I can, like, in situations like this, I can feel like Zaltanna feels kind of naked without her armor.
Yeah, that's fair.
You could keep the boots of Elven Kind on and the cloak of protection, so you'd have those.
I'm gonna walk around in my nutty pants with only the elven boots.
You're telling me you're streaking right now. Okay. All right.
No,
Yeah.
not actually.
Okay.
No, she's wearing, like street clothes.
Yeah, everyone would have like a set of street clothes. I think apart from Balance, who is wearing his street clothes, because you have armor, right? No, you have the leather armor. Don't you?
I have the leather armor, studded leather armor.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, apart from that one conversation, that I think is it. If you want to go for a spa day, y'all can go for a spa day. I'm not going to stop you.
I want to go for a spa day.
Okay, Zaltanna goes for a spa day.
Are you coming to get us?
Do you want to come get anyone to join you in this spa day? I mean, I've been told off for not giving you guys enough time off. Like, this is only day 54 or something dumb like that. And you guys have done a lot. So, yeah.
Who told you off?
Probably a few people.
It was Aethor.
Oh, it was Neil.
He's like, how many days?
You guys have been worked to the bone.
Aethor, thanks for having our back, man.
Yeah,
so
Zaltanna,
that downtime rule in Xanathar's? Fuck that shit.
Good to know you have
Fuck
my
that.
back.
Nah, never that. No, don't get that. So yeah, Zaltanna, are you going to go round up everyone else for a spa day?
Yeah, I'll go knock on the door of the boys and I guess Pintor as well. Actually, I'm going to go to Pintor's and like try to like... Yeah, I'm going to go to Pintor's room first.
Pintor, you hear a knock at the door.
I will.
It's Zaltanna. Surprise.
I open the door and Pintor's armor is off and he's wearing like more, or is about to get dressed into more like regal clothing, and he threw a robe over himself and he says, "Oh, hello, Zaltanna."
Hey, I wanted to see if Rhal wanted to go have a spa day.
Pintor
Yeah?
turns around and looks at Rhinala.
Like she's like holding a robe up to her chest, like she's like mostly undressed at this point, like about to get changed into something else. She's holding this robe like, yeah, I'd love to go.
Yeah?
Yeah. Give me a minute. I've got to put something a bit, on. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll meet you down there.
she rushes off to the bedroom and gets changed into something. She looks at Pinto and is like, are you coming with us?
No, you two have fun. I have a few things I need to look into.
Okay. She gives you a quick peck on the cheek and then she like races after Zaltanna. She literally takes like maybe 20 seconds to get changed and she's ready to go. This is a spa day, dude. She's off to ready and go. Okay, with that, Zaltanna and Rhinala make their way to the boys.
Zaltanna
Girls' Day.
Girls' Day.
Are you inviting
Are you
Demi?
invite-
Girls'
Yeah, you
Day.
invite-
Oh, yeah,
Demi?
no, I definitely would have invited Demi.
Demi is also there in a heartbeat. Okay, the girls go to the spa. I will deal with the spa day in a minute. I want to figure out what everyone else is doing. Let's start at the top of my Zoom call. Pinto.
So I'm going to spend some time, I guess, de-battling myself and making myself look a little bit more regal and nicer. So I'm going to wash myself, get my armor off, put on more like nobleman's clothings, kind of rebraid my hair to make it look a little bit more nicer. And then once I'm ready, meet up with, I guess, Rhal and Balance / Christopher. And
/ Pete.
/ Pete. And figure out kind of what the move is.
Okay.
So many power moves have happened. So many power moves.
So yeah, Rhal and Balance a little after you. It will probably be actually only very little after you guys actually finally were allowed into the room. That you would hear like Pinto at the door. So yeah.
Balance opens the door, trying to act the role of the guest.
Hello, Christopher.
Yes, can I help you? Oh. Well, hello, young master. And does like an exaggerated bow.
He says, "Hello, Christopher. Is Rhal Jarkin? Can we please speak?"
Yes, of course. Please step right this way.
I am here.
I'll walk
Thank
in and
you.
then they close the door. And then Pintor just kind of looks at...
Rhal is sitting on the guest bed with his stuff.
No, what do you no, you're in the... Rhal. Sir.
Now that Pintor's behind closed doors, he's laughing hysterically at the fact of just Rhal doing all that and Balance as Christopher playing the part of this old man. It's just too much. It has broken him and he's just laughing.
Rolling on the floor, laughing.
Balance is mortified.
Okay, is there anything that you guys wanted to do?
I hear there's a spa.
We gotta crash the spa.
Well, none of you, well, apart from Pinto, know that the girls are at the spa. So if you guys want to go to the spa, you're welcome to.
On a serious note, so what's going
I
on?
was serious.
Yes, the spa. You needed something, Pintor, sir.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit more about our reason for being here. You know, find out the play, so to say.
Telepathically to Pintor, he's going to say, I still don't know for sure if we're being listened in on or not. There are such magics. I would feel more comfortable having maybe Demi have a look before we discuss things.
Are you going to answer him?
I'm so sorry. It's my. I'm not quite as sharp as I used to be, but my apologies, sir.
I approve of Rhal constantly power playing. This is great.
Power play.
Rhal grew. It took 80 episodes, but Rhal finally grew a pair.
We need an action figure of power play Rhal. It's just Rhal in different positions. The one figure.
It's a little button
And when
on
you
the
put
back.
them all together, he's actually just doing the robot. Like,
You push the button in the back, and it does karate chops.
yeah.
Pull string, and it goes. I'm gonna make a con save now.
I'll say into Balance's head. No,
Wait, what? Nani?
Do you have,
I can't
message?
respond back, or is it just you in my head?
No, V said that my
He's-
telepathy is one way.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah, his form of telepathy is one.
got it.
I
thought
about to say,
I thought it was a
hold on
message
second.
thing. I thought it was a message thing.
No, I'm not that cool.
Gotcha. Okay.
No,
Apparently,
he's the uncle balance.
I'm not allowed to have a equivalency of a cantrip.
All right then. Well, there is a spa. Actually, Zaltanna and Rhal went to the spa just a short while ago.
Could we go, sir? That would be fantastic. I haven't been to a spa in years.
I've never been. Let's go.
All right.
Let me get changed. Hold just a moment.
Okay.
For the sake of not scarring you guys with
Three-
the image of creepy old man naked. Balance
I was
goes
just gonna.
into a room.
I wasn't even gonna mention the word naked. I was just gonna say the three of you make your way down to the spa, attired as you should be.
I had to clarify because you know how our listeners are. Someone would have said something.
Raw's naked.
Clearly. No. Well, yeah, I guess so.
That's nothing new.
That's him. Okay, Squash. While I put the spa off to one side, what is Squash up to?
Squash has a little like moment where he takes off his cloak, and he like kind of mournfully puts it away. It's dirty, it's ugly. He would just attract attention by wearing it around here. And he gets a cloak out. I'm assuming that I'm assuming that Shill has like a set of halfling clothes that he put out for Squash since the first time he came here.
Yeah, she would have been made aware by Demi that you needed nicer things.
So Squash is just kind of moving over to more casual clothing. Then he's gonna hunt down Shill real quick.
Okay. Shill is simply at the desk. They're shuffling through some papers. They're talking to a couple of other guests. And as they walk off, he turns almost on the spot to look down at you.
Hey, I'm still having a hard time sleeping. Do you have some god dream?
Of course, I can have God dream. Yes, I am sure that we can get you some doses of that, but the mistress asked us not to give you any.
God dream?
Yes.
Okay. If that's what she has decided.
That does not mean that we cannot just get it for you.
You wouldn't tell her?
Of course not. Just don't mention that it came from me.
Just 2 doses to sleep.
Just you two expecting only to stay for 2 days?
I have no idea how long she's gonna stay, but tonight's gonna suck. So.
Oh, being stuck in the room with the lovely lady, but not tell her that it sucks.
No, you gave me. Squash looks a little bit flustered as he looks at the ground, like kind of just playing with his feet.
Sorry to have embarrassed you, sir. My apologies. He kind of like makes a little note, and you see it like crumple and go up in smoke. He says, "Message has been sent. I shall deliver it in the usual place for you, sir."
Thank you. Is there any food ready?
Of course, if you make your way to this dining hall, there shall be something sent fairly rapidly if you wish.
Just something light, something easy. And Squash makes his way to the dining hall. And Squash is going to do the thing that he didn't do a lot of last time, which is basically watch other people go about doing their things. And he's keeping a special eye on Shill, because Shill was shit-talking Squash earlier.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, take a perception check, please.
All right. And if the character sheet's gonna play with me.
Oh, I can click it.
Please.
Oh, yeah, I'll click it for you. Don't worry. But now I feel bad because if I click it, I'm sealing my own fate. I feel bad about this.
Good.
That's a 22 on the perception roll.
Okay. On a 22, you would notice that occasionally the way that Jill moves, it's sometimes a little faster than the human eye, a little faster than you would expect your bog standard human to make. He seems to have an array of little spells that he does. He spends a lot of time sending servants to do their biddings, like please make sure that the flowers are replaced in this room, or please make sure that the spa has like new clean towels and a fresh scent, and like reminding people to like reset the alarms in various places downstairs, and people to send messages to the night butler, that sort of thing. Like they just seem to be running the building. But yeah, just from prolonged watching, and you've never really done this on Gilles, you notice there's something not quite right about him.
He seems to be casting quite a big bit of magic. Is he like doing all the things that you should have to do magic, vocal, somatic, and material components? Or is he somehow cheating? I.e. magical. I'm asking if he has magical.
Are you claiming?
I'm asking if he has magical
that
items.
I am cheating, sir. Are you claiming that I am cheating, sir?
No, I'm asking if he has magical items.
It's a sound logic.
He does have a magic item, at least one.
Anything Squash would pick up on? If it's genuinely just like a ring of protection, he shouldn't pick up on it.
No. Like his weapon is clearly magical. Like sometimes like when it's like under the desk and it should be in shade, it's not shaded correctly. Like, you know, there's a bit of magic just still like eking out from it. Yeah, and he doesn't seem to always necessarily need to have components, or he's sometimes missing the odd little like component to make a spell, like either the component itself or a verbal bit or a sman. He sometimes, just manages to cheat over them a little.
Okay. Yeah. Means that Squash can't rely on his knowledge of magic when it comes to knowing what this guy's up to.
No.
All right. Are there other people in the dining hall?
Yeah. There is a very angry looking like Duragar with short cropped white hair and a scar across like literally right across both eyes, like as if he's managed to avoid losing his eyes completely. And he's sitting there like eating something vegetable based and just like chewing it over and over and just looking grumpy, and like the curtains are drawn at that end of the room so he doesn't get burnt or anything. So yeah.
Oh, so he's in partial darkness over there. But he is a dark vision creature. Squash is basically looking around for an easy target for some light stealing and then returning to make Demi look better, because he's not happy that he's making her look bad.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
You want to thieve something.
Just super simple, like somebody's wearing like an annoyingly, obviously, easily lootable pouch. So Squash just wants to like nick the pouch itself and then like walk past the person, bend down and slide her hand like, oh, hey, did you drop this?
Okay, so you would see a couple of servers that you could probably do that on. They wouldn't necessarily be carrying money pouches, but maybe they'd be carrying something else that might be of value. Yeah. The Duragar, he definitely would have like a pouch or something in like the bag that's sitting on his side, and you could easily go over and steal that and make idle conversation with him to distract him. You could attempt to steal from Gilles, which would be hilarious.
I have no interest of dying tonight. I'll leave Gilles alone.
Please, Gilles, please.
like one of the servants is actually a great fucking mark.
Okay.
It can be something as simple as just like they have like a pieces of paper, like a little notebook or something that they have in their pocket, like something like that. Squash just lifts that.
Is it just to get his fix?
No, it's just to, like I said, like Squash is just trying to like. He just got accused of not being around and not leaving a mark and just being a fucking creepo. And Squash is trying to like, I've got to fix this, like, gotta make it look good. And well, looking good in the eyes of the servants is perfect.
Okay.
Because
I see what you're doing.
Because it's Shill that's calling him out.
Motherfucker. You sneaky motherfucker. I love it. Okay, yeah. One of the servants is like, they're carrying in after you've like eaten your light meal, they go over and they pick up all the plates off the Durgar's like a small table off to one side in the darkness, and they do that thing where they stack all the plates on one arm and it looks super really rad, and they walk over to your table and like begin to do the same, like, you know, pull. So yeah, it'd be very easy to attempt to steal from this person right now.
Squash.
Take a sleight of hand for me. I'll click the button for you.
I was ready. I have no idea how long it's going to take. I already clicked it. It might never come through, though.
It's all right. I clicked the first one.
All right.
Well then.
Irrelevant. We both rolled a 23. On a 23, you're very easily able to like... you're very easily able to steal like a little pouch. It has a couple of coins in there, probably a little piece of paper as well.
Oh. Squash is a little bit interested in the piece of paper. Like, I'm gonna check. Like, is it just like a random order?
No, you like look through the pouch, which has like a couple of copper and a couple of silver pieces in there, one gold piece, and there's like this little scrap of parchment with like a little note written in like really, really bad human script in common, which basically says, "I love you, daddy." And then, yeah, that's the only thing that's in there.
Oh, well, now I feel like an asshole. Squash, wait.
That's nothing new.
Squash waits for the same servant to come back in, and then he's gonna, like, walk up to them with a pouch, like, obviously in hand, like, sorry.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, when you were picking up plates earlier, I think you dropped this. And Squash presents the pouch more obviously.
They reach over and take the pouch. They look down and they see the note and they're like, "Oh, thank you very much. I don't know what you would have done with this, Scott, at last. Thank you."
No problem.
You're with the lodge or the other one, the Witcher Society, aren't you?
Yeah, Demi. Yeah, we came here like last week too. It was very nice.
All right, well, if there's anything you need, sir, just don't hesitate to give us a shout.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Squash looks at his feet and then starts walking towards the desk.
Make a persuasion roll with advantage.
All right. Oh, no, that's my worst skill.
I'll have to click the button for you, don't worry.
Yes, please.
Oh my god, it's a -1.
Yeah.
It's going to end poorly.
Squash is...
Oh, it really wasn't advantage.
Yeah, roll 20 is completely frozen on my end. So what did I get?
You got a 14.
Hey!
It's not awful.
It's not bad. Okay. Someone somewhere will remember this. Okay. All right, we can make this work. Okay, cool. So where is Squash headed to now? Because I need to know whether I can go to the spa or whether you're going off somewhere and I can ignore you for a while.
Translation, do you see us going to the spa?
I think I've been wandering around for a little bit too long to catch you guys going into the spa, but I think Squash would actually, like, he's heard, like, maybe he caught you guys out of the corner of his eye walking towards it earlier.
You would have heard Zaltanna say, "Let's go to the spa,"
like
and Demi's excited reaction of like, "Let's go to the spa!" Like,
double
you would
chance.
have got it.
So Squash at some point heard that. He returns to Demi's room. If she's not there, then he's like, "Are they still there? Well, I might as well." And like gets whatever he needs and goes to the spa.
Okay. Zaltanna, the spa. It's a beautiful, glorious place. There's a sauna off to one side. There's someone who's offering massages, full body oil massages. There are seaweed wraps. There are like the mud thing. Casey, I honestly don't really know what happens at a spa myself. I just know nice shit happens there.
I've been to several spas. Do you need me to
I'll tell you what, Casey.
spa it up?
I will let you guys go crazy with what the fuck is at the spa right now, because I
There's
honestly only
sushi.
what I've seen on TV.
I mean,
Run a persuasion
in
check.
the area I live
just had
in,
sushi
usually.
as well.
You said we're on an island. Obviously, there's sushi.
I tell you what. Okay, well, this is where sushi, after 81 episodes, finally gets introduced into Discora. You guys are at the spa. There's a little like steam room off to one side. There's a couple of them, let's say, for private moments. There is a hot tub type thing, so hot water and like the cold thing that you can dunk yourself into afterwards. There are people offering massages and like seaweed wraps and stuff. There's a person over in the corner who is literally just a server, and they do things like serve your drinks and like bring you sushi and light snacks and stuff. All of you guys feel happy and refreshed. No chaos happens here. It's a beautiful, glorious moment. All of you are hanging out in like the sauna in like your underwear or your towel or...
Oh, I was actually gonna say about halfway walking to the spa with Balance and Rhal, I kind of stop and I'm like, on second thought, I might actually just kind of wander around and get a feel for the place. I would also like Ranala to enjoy herself without seeing me and thinking of other things.
Of course, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. In that case, everyone except Pintor gets this wonderful, beautiful bonus I was literally just about to give you. Nothing too terrible happens here. The sauna is beautiful and gorgeous. You all feel great. Your shoulders have been massaged. You feel just... It's generally a nice couple of hours you guys spent here just getting pampered the shit out of. You guys have had some really hard times recently. All of you get 1d10. Fuck it. All of you get 10 temporary hit points that last until they're gone.
Oh.
So sleeping won't be good for them. You just get them till you're gone. Rhal, you don't have to do your roll in the morning.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay, yes, so all of you get to be happy and healthy and have a really good time. So you'll get to enjoy a good couple of hours. Pintor. What are you doing?
Pintor is just wandering. He's trying to get kind of like the lay of the land, kind of look several different people, see if there's anybody he kind of may recognize from interacting with his father, or other people he may know.
Absolutely, you do. On this kind of ground level, on this ground level, you know that there's the big entrance hall, which is very dwarven and elvish in architecture and design. There's the odd little like human influence here and there, where they've risen to power and then dropped again and risen to power and dropped. It's the same with almost all the other races, but the only consistent force here on Discora has been the elves and the dwarves for 5,000 odd years. You will also know that there is a massive dining room which has one very big table and a bunch of smaller tables around the edge. There is a series of like little small smoking rooms, like those old style, just come and have a cigar and a smoke sort of thing. There's a couple of those around. There's a really big training room and a couple of like the what looks like off-duty guards are just like practicing in there. There's the spa, which you would have seen. There is a couple of small meeting rooms and a very, very big meeting room, like freaking huge. There are lots of small tables and lots of chairs all around. There is also a very large ballroom with the kind of like wood floor, which is very varnished. You could tell just like walking around here, the acoustics in here would be fucking amazing. Wandering around outside a little bit, the grounds have a very beautiful garden and a beautiful set of gardens. So it's not just like here's some roses, like here's like your pretty flowers and here's your nice smelling flowers and here's like a mini maze, like they're kind of all around. There is a very tall 30-foot wall that encompasses this 2-story mansion, basically. It's set back against basically a mountain edge. So like one wall doesn't need to be put around it because the mountain is in the way. You don't seem, without rolling, you don't seem to notice where the servants' quarters would be, where there's an additional place or anything like that. You just know that if you go upstairs, you see exactly as you saw before. All rooms have been dedicated to various people, like specific names or specific families or roles. There are a couple of them that just say guest quarters, and you would assume those are people who have risen to power but don't have like a particular job or something. They just are very powerful people. Yeah, that's the kind of the lay of the land that you get, really. Cool. You notice that there are a couple of other guests here. There is a particularly grumpy and angry looking Duragar, who always seems to be, as you would expect, in the dark and in the shade. There seems to be a very happy looking halfling woman with like long flowing blonde hair, and she seems happy but a little gaunt, like a little malnourished. And you also see somebody that you would 100% recognize. Queen Rowena of the Dwarves, like your aunt, has a council of advisors. One of her advisors is called a maker. The maker is in charge of all things to do with the blacksmith and making stuff. She is currently here and staying there. She is a very ancient old half-elf, half-dwarf called Rodri. She has a pair of crooked half-moon glasses, very short cropped white hair, trimmed beard. She's missing a few fingers and toes, but no one points those out to her because she's super grumpy. These days, she's practically deaf, so you kind of need to shout at her, but she knows her shit. You would know her pretty well because of Thakit. Thakit has been training underneath her. She was a maker before Rowena became queen, and she has been maker since Rowena had to leave being the maker, and she resumed her role again. So yeah, whether you get on with her or not, I will leave entirely up to you.
So one of the reasons I had Pintor kind of dress up a little bit more regally was so that he would be very easily recognizable by anybody here. And as he's been kind of walking through and passing people, he's trying to keep an eye out for anybody who's taking particular notice of him or kind of eyeing him more distinctly than usual.
Probably the halfling woman. Like, she'd probably look up and notice you. She may not notice exactly who you are, but you're royalty. Like, you walk around with the air of royalty. Like, she notices that you're someone important here. So she just like keeps an eye out over on you. The Duragar just seems like too angry and hidden in the shadows. And the old ancient half-elf, half-dwarf woman, she kind of... Yeah, she doesn't really say much to you. She just like grumps along, like leaning on her cane, just like ordering servants out of her way, that sort of thing.
All right, then I will approach Rodri. You said her name was, right?
Yep, Rodri.
I will approach Rodri. Rodri, it's a pleasure to see you.
You are? Oh, Master Prince Pintor.
And she kind of like, she does this thing where she's trying to bow down, but she's sort of like leaning more on the cane than anything else.
How are you? It's been a while.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know, I've heard a lot about this place, from my father, so I figured I'd kind of finally take my time to see it.
Right.
How about you?
Well, missing my star people doesn't help.
Oh.
A bit bored, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. But Rowena thought she might as well send me here. She's waiting for... you know, the missive back from someone she's petitioned. I don't know how that's gone yet.
Well, anything I can do to entertain you while you're here, since you're so bored, it seems?
Nah, it's all right. I'm just gonna go up to the room for the makers and I'll figure out how to fix the squeaking door in the bed that's always creaking.
All right, then. I'll leave you to it, then.
Bloody out of clean windows. I'll have to go do that myself as well. Find a bloody... mark in a bucket, and she like goes off ranting like up to the stairs. You know it's going to take her a really long time to get up there, but she refuses help from anyone.
Pintor smiles and then continues walking along and kind of getting acquainted with the place.
Okay. You are pretty well acquainted. You know everything that you don't require a roll to know. Okay. I'm going to say like it kind of like the sun goes down, you guys hanging out in the spa, like they open like the big glass windows so you guys can look over at the sun that's like setting down over the mountain. It looks beautiful and gorgeous and romantic if you're that way inclined. Like it's all the nice things that are happening. It really puts a nice cap on this beautiful day that you guys are having. And one of the servers comes across and announces to all of you, let's say you guys are, I don't know, or having a massage or something. One of the servers comes across and says, good evening, sir. Good evening, ladies.
dinner is going to be served shortly. Do you wish for me to save tables for you, or are you going to eat at another time? The spa is, of course, open to you all hours of the day and night if you wish.
And I'll go to dinner.
I don't think Rhal's at the massage tables. He would, while he's walking around here naked and shameless, he's not gonna like make it someone's job to like touch the monster with horns and scales and claws. So he's not gonna do the massage table, but he's probably in the sauna.
Yeah, you would all be close enough to hear the servant announce this. Yeah. Demi pipes up that she's going to be going to dinner also. Okay, well, I'm going to go get changed because I don't want to go there looking like this. And she indicates the fact that she's wearing like basically very little and a towel. That's about it. You can see all of the runes, all of the magical scars, all the fucking shit. Like, you can see all that. Like, I'm going to go get changed because I don't want to go to dinner looking at this. This may raise a few eyebrows, so I'm going to go get changed. Does anyone else want to go get changed? If you want to meet us for dinner, that's fine. You can just order around here. Someone will give you food at some point. Oh boy. Should probably figure out what we're going to be doing this evening.
Rhal wanders out of the, sauna.
Yeah.
He wanders out of the sauna.
Balance is going to follow Rhal.
You can now you've been around him a while, like shirtless, you can kind of tell which of his scars are like have had magical healing and which ones were kind of more not.
Yeah.
And he has particularly one that scoops from his shoulder blade down under his arm and into his gut, like something gutted him. That looks like it took barely any magical healing at all. He has 3 arrows, which doesn't strike you as odd for someone with a lot of scars, but you realize, oh, those probably weren't 4-fold things because no one really uses arrows in the 4-fold, and it would have been magically healed. And you notice one nasty kind of stab wound elsewhere, but other than those things, everything looks like it's had some magical healing. But he has a lot of scars, and his hands are a little bit red since he's finished up his project without acid resistance.
I need to give Rhal a hug.
Noted.
And he wanders out and is looking to follow the crowd of people who are...
Renala pipes up and says, we should probably figure out what we're going to do this evening, my lords and ladies. We could always meet up in Prince Pintor's room, figure out who's going where and when.
That sounds like quite an idea.
It's a nice place. You'll love it. There's a bottle of fine elven wine that I'm quite looking forward to maybe tasting.
Squash gets out of whatever like hot tub or bath he was in, and his body's just a cacophony of scars. There is no rhyme or reason to it, and he's just got like his like feet slapping his way across the room, just going like, "I'll be wherever Demi is. I'll tell her about the whole wine idea," and he just walks off.
Hey, I'm like here.
I thought you said you left 5 seconds ago.
I'm about to leave. Like, I was just talking about leaving. And at that point, she'll probably like put her hand like near his like shoulder head area and just like indicate they're all just leaving. She does it without touching him. Like, she's not gonna invade his space. Okay. Prince Pintor, are you, I'm hoping, gonna meet them back up in the rooms. You'll at least hear this ensemble of people clacking their way on the way up to the rooms. So yeah, you guys can hang out in Pintor's room when everyone is dressed and ready and looking a little less like they're at the spa. Demi says, it's okay. So I know absolutely all of these rooms are like detection free. I did a little thing before I arrived in our room over in the Witch Society. That wasn't at all one thing. I'm pretty sure this one isn't either, but I can do a spell just to make sure we aren't anyway. And then we'll get on with talking about how, we're gonna do the thing. You see her eyes turning like shades of blue and mixing through that into red and back to blue again. And you see her hands move and her mouth mutter. And then her eyes clear again and just go back to their normal red color. And she says, okay, so far as I can tell, there's absolutely no what's going on us right now. We are free to talk as we want.
So as everybody walked into Pintor's room, Pintor was sitting in a chair with a glass of elven wine and had another glass ready for Renala. And then everyone walked in and he was like, oh, okay, and then put the wine down, and he's like, okay, let's do this then.
Balance walks over and takes the other glass of wine and just starts sipping it.
As he does that, you see Rhal just like open her mouth and like kind of gesture to balance like the lost glass that she hasn't had, and as soon as Balance turns around, her hands are back to normal. But yeah, Pintor saw that.
Pintor grabs.
Much appreciated. Thank you. I haven't had one of these in a while.
Yeah, no problem. And he grabs another glass and pours a glass of wine and hands it to Renala.
she clinks
God,
it and
Balance.
takes a drink. Balance oblivious.
Or intentional.
Power plays, baby.
Power plays.
This episode is
Power
called
play.
Absolutely.
Power Plays and Spas.
He's gonna make as many dickish moves in this span of us being in this safe room as he can.
Not
While
only
he
just a
can.
safe room, but a safe room that reminds him of home.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is everything you have missed for the last 50 years in like 3 rooms. Sorry, like 8 rooms or something dumb.
yeah.
Like, and a balcony. Like, yeah.
You tie that in with the fact that Balance has to pretend to kiss Rhal's ass anytime they're out.
Yeah. I'm so happy by this. Demi opens the conversation of the evening and she says, so we got to figure out who's going where and who's doing what. I know I'm going to have to go down and like try and get as many people paying attention to us as possible. If you guys are going to break into the vaults, then you're going to need some sort of cover. So I will definitely provide as much as I can. I can't really provide any much more. Most of my magical endeavors went to certain things that you guys now have. So yeah, and Squash knows where everything is. Squash knows how to get down there. But I do need to tell you that there are probably some new things that you're not expecting in there, Squash. It may take a little while. You got caught. It was bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I heard him. I heard what he was talking about. We're gonna have to figure it out again, or whatever they've changed. I can't believe they've changed everything. It was what, 2 days ago?
Well, I wouldn't expect it though. Some of those things were very, very intricate. Like, they're a very intricate thing. Like, you had to dodge a lot of things from what you're saying. And a lot of things I had to give you were very magically like, oh my god, well, how am I going to do with this? So they can't have changed that much about it, but they had to have changed something. And obviously, whatever is actually down there, like in the vault layer.
So how do you guys want to do this? And Squash is looking at the 4 brave adventurers.
And Renala.
Yes. Squash is ignoring Renala in this case.
I'm pretty sneaky.
Same.
You and I both are not quite so skilled in that regard.
I'm not really that sneaky either.
That being said, we do need to be down there.
Do you really?
I'd rather not get caught again. And a firefight out of here is probably going to end in everybody's death. Compared to the amount of traps and garbage they have down there, I'm assuming that they have invariable militia to take out anybody who tries to start bullshit.
The only thing I could think then would be if we had 2 separate groups. One for infiltration, the other for distraction.
That's what I was thinking also.
Well, apart from that, like the people up here, the people around, there's going to be more guests arriving from other parts of the world. I know that the representation of the Durogar are here. I know representation of the new guys, the people I voted for. The Dawn are here. The representation of their other here. I know the Maker from the Dwarven Society is here. There's a couple of other people I know are turning up. I think the Alchemist guys are turning up too. And obviously, well, we're here. And we could begin to like suss out and feel out what the hell is going on and who knows what and who doesn't know what. So there'll be plenty of us to talk to and talk about and get information from. So it's not like we're not going to be doing anything. We need to be as big and as loud as possible about it so that they try not to notice. My real concern is that they notice that Squash, you got into the bottom layer and then you got out again. And my biggest concern is they have an alarm spell because I don't know how to undo that. Well, I kind of do, but I need to be there, but I can't go down there because I'm not as sneaky as you.
And nobody else here is magically inclined.
The best thing I can offer is that I was able to get a ring of invisibility off of one of the assassins.
I can be scary.
I feel all of the abilities that I have, you can possibly do better than I can, Squash.
No, I'm sure you're great.
What conviction.
Wow.
Conviction.
Squash looks over to Zaltanna and like, I'm assuming with my passive perception of 26, I have picked up on the fact that she's wearing magical boots that make her quieter.
Yes.
Squash is just gonna like gesture towards your boots and like your boots make you super quiet. And did you said we're not being scryed on, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
No
Balance,
chance.
you said you have a ring of invisibility.
That's correct.
That's everything you need to get one person through with, like, who can be as clumsy and useless as they want to be.
It does not have a charge right now, and there's a slim chance that it'll be recharged by tomorrow.
Oh.
Unless you have a way to accelerate that, Demi.
No.
I kind of assumed. So it's a 1 in 6 chance that it'll actually be refreshed.
Okay, that's not a high possibility.
Not particularly.
Do we?
Wait, I may be able to do something. I may be able to help someone with that. Let me hang on. Let me go through my Rolodex of spells. Hang on. And you see her eyes just roll continuously in the back of her head.
As you
Almost
look at her
like
spell
she's
list.
loading. Yeah.
I have many skills, but infiltration of that sort, not so much. I'm more personable.
So Demi is a witch, I'm assuming? Warlock, witch, or sorceress?
Yeah.
She's a swarlock.
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 Swearlock?
She's a wild swarlock.
Wild Swarlock. Nice.
Yeah, she's a thing.
She's fucking insane.
Dare you?
She is. I didn't say I don't like
How
her. She's
dare you?
crazy.
Is great.
She is.
I
She's
like
great.
me.
Crazy, but great. Also, we haven't really seen everything she could do, because the only fight we've seen her in was with a thing that was like immune to everything
To
she
fire.
did.
Yeah. Like, well, yeah. All right.
Let me guess. She has like fucking mass polymorph or some shit.
No, but she does have polymorph.
Oh.
Polymorph someone into a mouse.
Squeak.
Yeah.
Squeak.
Yeah, that's legitimately what I'm thinking.
Not it. One, two, three, not it.
No, you're sneaky enough that it wouldn't be on you. It basically comes down to a question of, does Zaltanna go, does Balance go, or does Rhal go?
Definitely not Rhal.
Yeah, let me read the thing first. I think it's an hour, right? Or is it just last
Polymorph,
until...
it's an hour.
Yeah.
Hour or until drop concentration.
See, I've clicked... Yeah, I clicked that. I know that.
Or damage
it's not
from health, the health damage.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so Demi's like, hang on, let me think about that. And you see her eyes just like roll over and over and over and over. And then they stop and her eyes are very bright and very wide. And she looks around, they fill up with that bright red glow again. She says, I can always turn someone into a mouse.
That's an
bat.
idea.
Or a dog.
Maybe
One,
not.
two, three,
Or
not
lizard.
it.
I think it should be
Well,
balanced.
okay, hold on. I concur.
I agree as well.
So you're not gonna come along, Zaltanna?
No, I don't think so. And here's why. Because somebody else needs to be up here to distract. And I am very distracting.
You are very distracting. Okay, then let me make the last point. If the invisibility ring goes through, we can get you in too. Do we want to take... just put our hopes on that for one night and then hit it tomorrow? Or is that a unfathomable plan? Unfathomable? That's not a real word for that one.
Granted what we're trying to do, I don't think we should leave things up to chance at this point.
I think in either case, the polymorph works out very well. Having someone with some capabilities of spell adjacent abilities is wise. Having Zaltanna along, I don't know, your skills in combat, if we do get into a scrap, would be useful. However, at the same time, you are quite loud.
Unless we turn
Yeah.
her into a rat.
I
The
don't
issue would
mean
be
that.
even with my boots, I would still have to put on my armor, and it would still be. I don't think it would be the best for me to come along. I think that my skills would best be used being very distracting up here.
Okay.
You are also Demi's guest. Having both guests vanish would be suspicious. Having one present would be less so.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is also that if both you and Rhal go down there, that might also be an issue because then there's no one from the lodge. Or whatever it is you guys are representing.
Let's put it like this. If something happens to everyone else, a crack team of me and you, Balance, and Zaltanna and Rhal, we can always be the rescue team if they're not back within a few hours. If we're down you, we're down some very important ass-kicking ability. So we could just split it 2 ways. We'd have one team go down, one team acts as a distraction. If the other team gets stuck, then we'll come down and rescue. Because at that point, if like you aren't back,
Here's
then
my thought.
We'll kill them all. I mean, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Demi, how many polymorphs can you do, and what are the limits? Because
I could do it twice.
you could polymorph.
Because I have
You
twin
could polymorph
spell.
one of us into Rhal.
Oh, that twin spell though.
Yeah. I could turn you both into rats.
Same point still stands though.
No, turn someone into Rhal. Then Balance and Rhal can both go down.
Don't know if you can turn someone into...
Because I think
I don't think that's how polymorph works.
Because I think the issue is if the guest is there instead of the person who's actually representing it, that's a little more suspicious.
The problem is I don't think any of us here are very capable at mimicking Rhal. Also, he has a tail.
You cannot polymorph into a different sentient race. You can only polymorph into beasts.
Not even disguise-wise, it's still an issue of it would be illusory
A
at
tail.
most. Why don't we leave it up to the infiltration group then? Obviously, Pintor, Squash, and Rhal, that you three are going down regardless. What would you three prefer? Would you prefer having me along with you, or would you prefer to have me up here? Since that seems to be the main debate.
Okay, completely meta-wise, I think it's cooler to leave you behind so you and Casey can play off the world. And in game,
I was gonna say also, then we can have a disguise going because you look enough like Pintor that we could literally just pass you off as Pintor.
Oh my god! That's genius!
Doing that two people at once thing, you keep putting it going on and off again.
Oh, that's amazing!
No,
Now you can have like 7
I am
names.
not misdoubtfiring
Come
this.
on.
No, you're not misdoubting.
I
You're just
am not
washing the dye
doubtfiring this.
out of your hair.
How is that misdoubtfiring it? You're not having to put on like a...
I'm gonna be
you should
fucking
just-
having to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes and taking the goddamn ring on and off.
No, you won't, because you don't have to be there as your guy. You only have to be there as Pintor. No one's gonna care if Rhal
Technically, you have to do it
guest
every
turns up.
hour because you'd have to attune to the ring again.
Yeah, but if you're going to pretend to be Pintor for like a couple of hours, it only takes an hour to
I
reattune
also
to it.
can't
So
do that voice.
Well, technically, I'm doing the same voice as you now.
yes, and we're seeing this through a dark mirror. Okay, so like on our side of the world, in like the real podcasty side of the world, like we all have different voices. That's true. But on the other side of the mirror, the one that we're reporting on, they have the same voice. So long as like you're both like vaguely posh, you're okay. And you only need to be common when you're speaking to Rhal.
Because technically, the voice I'm doing now is very different from the voice I was doing back when we were in the Witcher Society, because now I'm playing the role of the prince and not necessarily the friend.
Yes. This is genius. I love this idea.
Is this all in character?
No, we had the
You're
meta talk
welcome.
about how we're going to get around to what we're doing.
Okay. Oh God, you're gonna.
This
make...
is amazing.
I have to pretend to be not me.
You need to be good balance.
Yeah.
The young
Cool
me.
balance.
Cool
Cooler
balance.
Wow. Okay.
All right, in world.
Yeah, I think, Balance, that you should stay up here because I think if the prince disappears, it might be a problem. And you and Pintor could be twins because you're brothers. Just pretend to be Pintor for a couple hours.
We can always wash the dye out of your hair, and if I braid it up, no one's going to notice that your hair is shorter than Pintor's.
I mean, it could work.
And yeah, and if you get into trouble, I know everything about Pintor, so I can always fill in any details you need. And also, if it ends up being any trouble and you guys aren't back within like 4 hours or something, then we have like some very powerful people to come down and kick the shit out of things. We're just going to be fine. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And also, if we get information is extremely important right now, and you're way better at getting information than you are like doing the other things, which these guys are clearly, no offense, much better at like being really sneaky and stuff.
That's
I mean,
fair.
I could turn around and like Squash just disappears. I have no idea where he is.
Well, the main
She reaches
concern
down to where Squash should be.
The main concern is extraction, but as long as you three are stealthy and capable, then it may not be a concern.
The polymorph plan had the problem with the extraction that once we break your polymorph, it would be really hard to get you out.
Well, I have teleportation skills, and as long as we're not more than a mile or two away, I mean, and even then I could chain teleportations. I could get all of us, out.
I mean, I do agree that the polymorph could be very useful regardless. If one of us is sneakier than the others, we can use it as a backup planning just in case. If two of us can turn into, as example, if me and Rhal can turn into mice, we can hide on Squash as Squash sneaks in, kind of reducing our risk of failure.
That's good for the introduction, sure.
I do not disagree with this. And Squash has a little smile. Yeah, if I can get you guys in through the servants' quarter to the vault area, that would kind of break the worst part, I think. The part that would rely the most on your skills.
One person's easier to get in than three.
And you're very, very, very sneaky.
You want to make us mice?
You can be a spider if you want.
Yeah.
You want to make me a spider?
What do you
Only for a little
want,
while.
Rhal?
Because magic is scary. I don't know if I want it at all. That's what I'm saying.
Do you want to be a snake? He'll be scaly. It's kind of familiar.
Gecko?
Oh, yes, you could be a bearded dragon. Those are very small. Well, depending on how big you are. This is me arch talking. I know what bearded dragons are. They're wonderful.
I don't know. The magic. Okay.
Make him
I promise I'm not going to hurt you. Well, yeah, I promise I'm not going to hurt you. Like, always, I know you're very nervous and very scared about it, but I promise I won't actually hurt you. Like, that's not my intent. I just need to turn you into something small so Squash can get you in through the thing, and then we have one less thing to worry about.
It's fine.
You know what? Actually, Demi, make him a fat-tailed gecko. It's very fitting.
Is my tail fat?
No, it's just...
Rhal self-conscious about his tail.
Rhal can't sneak because his tail is dummy thick.
My tail is not fat. Hi, Rhal here. I have a couple of patrons to thank for names. Dahi the Night Butler was given to us by Undead, and F. Nolan was given to us by Fortello. Thank you so much for those names. If you want to put names in the pool, you can find out how to do that at patreon.com/tldpod, where you can help support the show. I know that we all love having everyone give us names. That's very helpful, very fun. We hope that you guys like to hear your names enter the show. Thanks to our Patreons, we have been able to fund things such as our world map that we had made. You can find that at theluckydie.com, and you will be seeing that around more places here. But we just had our map made. It's very nice. We like it. Thank you very much. Valanda has already been working very hard on getting some of those episodes that we just unlocked with the Patreon stretch goals ready. We have some fun, interesting things coming there. So we hope to do more things like that in the future. And if you want to help us do that, you can do so and get some cool rewards in the process, such as early access to the Kino campaign. You can be 2 full episodes in front of everyone else. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to our patrons for your support. If you can help support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/tldpod. For those who cannot, understandable. We also accept nicer reviews and love letters on Twitter. So thanks for listening. Bye.
Are you looking for a D&D podcast that'll make you laugh? How about one that'll make you cry? Sweat profusely with stress and anxiety because of a flippin' mule? Taking Initiative is a Dungeons & Dragons 5e actual play podcast with an audio drama feel. These episodes are scored, character-driven, and filled with utter bullshit. Mostly because of Nick, let's be honest. Featuring special guests, the Venture Maidens, D&D is for Nerds, and more. Plus, we're in Wizards of the Coast podcast of series.
Welcome, everyone.
It's your pal, Ray.
That was an interesting time you had, Nick.
I pat the horse on the rump. Thank you, great-grandfather.
He just said his hopes and dreams. He didn't cast a spell.
You gotta get down deep and lift from the knees.
So that's the only big organ he has.
Damn, Taking Initiative. Look us up on Twitter at TI_pod and on our website, takinginitiativepodcast.com.